Dean Henderson has gone to social media, said goodbye to Sheffield United. They've replaced him, and reports are that now he could be headed back to Old Trafford, though not yet confirmed. Shaka, is it time now for Manchester United to make Dean Henderson the number one, finally moving on from David de Gea?
Listen, I've said before, I think Dean Henderson has shown enough at Sheffield United to deserve a chance. At the same time, David de Gea has made more than his fair share of errors to see Dean Henderson given that chance. The underlying thing is, and we all know this, all things being equal, maybe that makes sense. But given the contract that David de Gea is on, I don't see Manchester United offloading him. I don't see Ole Gunnar Solskjaer going to the board and making a decent argument as to why he's got £300,000 sitting on the bench every single week. So that's a tougher sell for the manager, to a board who need justification as to why that money is being spent on David de Gea. So right now, I don't think Dean Henderson gets in. I think it's a waste of his talents. Maybe there's something else on the cards, but I don't see him starting for Manchester United first day of the season.
Shaka, who's the better goalie right now between the two?
Right now, I still give David de Gea a very slight edge. And that's just because I still feel that Dean Henderson hasn't played at this level, on this stage, as big a stage as Manchester United and Old Trafford. And oftentimes, when you make an error, as you do, as you always do in making that step up, can you handle that pressure? So that only comes with experience, of course, and maybe he needs to experience that in the League Cup or in the FA Cup or whatever the games Romero were playing in. But I only see his stock going up. I only see David de Gea's going down, which for me, again, all things being equal, is why I add Dean Henderson.
Don, you agree with Shaka? Right now, De Gea the better goalie than Henderson?
No, I don't think so, but I totally understand, and I think Shaka's absolutely right. You know, when you play for clubs like Liverpool and you play for clubs like Man United, it's completely different than playing for teams like Sheffield United. If you make a mistake, you can recover. When you play for a Man United, and if you're Dean Henderson, and you will make a mistake because it's just what goalkeepers tend to do every once in a while, it's how you handle that pressure on the world's biggest stage. When there's zillions of people watching you, can you recover and not make the mistake next week? Because if you do it 2 or 3 weeks in a row, your confidence will be absolutely shattered. I think that the difficulty is, it's the dynamic inside that dressing room in pre-season. When you've got the 3 goalkeepers, is it just going to be a straight shootout for who's in the best form? Because if you put those 3 goalkeepers and you say to them all in pre-season, right, you're all fighting for a number 1 position, the number 1 shirt, and let's just say Dean Henderson's in terrific form and he starts match day 1 for Man United, is it going to look good that David de Gea sitting on 300 grand a week is sitting on the bench? Is he going to be patient enough? Is he not going to want to move straight away? It's almost impossible. What I would be doing if I was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I would probably be offering someone like West Ham, who I think need a number 1 like Dean Henderson, another year in the Premier League, and let's just see how he goes again, because I think he's an unbelievable talent. And I think they'll be wasted sat on the bench at Man U.
Stevie, what do you think? De Gea's days as a top-flight goalie over?
I think so, yeah. And I agree with Shaka. I think he probably just edges it with Henderson. And of course, there's the matter of a 3 years left in his contract at 350 grand a week. For me, this puts Henderson in a strange position. Sheffield United have gone out and spent nearly 20 million on Ramsdale from Bournemouth, who played 37 games in the Premier League last year. So I'm going to assume that Ramsdale's not going to sign for Sheffield United without asking, is Dean Henderson coming back? And I would suggest he wouldn't sign if the answer was, well, yes, or even maybe. So where does that leave Henderson? Because yes, De Gea is going to be number 1 at the start of the season. So you're kind of looking at either an absolutely horrendous spell from De Gea or a long-term injury. And even then, does Henderson get in before Romero? So this leaves Dean Henderson in a strange position. If I'm Dean Henderson, I agree with Shaq. I'm getting out somewhere in the Premier League. I beg your pardon with Don. and West Ham does sound like a great place to go, because the guy should be playing. I know he's only 23, which is probably young for a goalkeeper, but with the last 2 seasons he's had behind him, he is not going to be wanting to sit on his backside. So Dean Henderson's in a real strange position for me.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.